Here we go, 1957. That's crazy, 1957 keep coming up. We stand on 68th and Hooper at the Chinese store. Excuse me. All my homeboys that was out there and we kicking it, they had been stealing to the drink with WPLJ, Italian Swiss Colony White Port and Lemon Juice. So everybody had been in that store, either a short dog or a fat neck, as they call the fifth, or a fat neck. Okay, but I didn't drink. So with no reason for me to go in there, but niggas kept me, go in there, man. Man, I saw them, man, I'm going there. And so eventually they kept bugging me to death. So I go in there to get some Italian Swiss Colony. Okay, and so the Chinese guys looking at us and everything, and like at me, I mean. And so I had bought some chips and a soda. Okay, and so a customer comes in. When he looks away, the customer, I reach and grab the wine, and I stick it under and I walk out. I pay for the stuff and I walk out. Okay, so I bring it out and I said, yeah, here you go, man. And they said, what is this? And I didn't even know what it was. And it was Thunderbird. Okay, and Thunderbird, see, the car came out in 1955. Okay, but the wine didn't come out around 57. It might have came out before 57. I don't know, but we got it in 57. So they walk out there and somebody said, oh, man. And they was mad at me because I didn't get out there in Swiss Colony. So somebody said, well, it's wine. I'll drink it. And so they started drinking Thunderbird. And so they started getting a buzz. This man's Thunderbird good. And so somebody else goes in there later on and they steal some more Thunderbird. Okay, and so they started getting buzzed out. Okay, so now I always ate sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, peanuts, and stuff like that. Okay, so it was all kind of shells on the ground, right? I had been eating sunflower seeds. Okay, and so they started buzzing and they started to say, man, this nigga done went in there and got this Thunderbird. Everybody's head is bobbing and weaving, eyes is tight. Thunderbird didn't look like a goddamn Thunderbird. They said, look at all them goddamn shells down there. I said, man, yeah, motherfucker, you a Thunderbird. And so that's how I got my name. And said, okay, and so another time, we were right at the same place, everybody, 68th and Hooper. And everybody had, had money and they went and bought whatever they bought. So I just bought my little regular. So we walked from 68th and Hooper up to Florence and Hooper to the hamburger stand, the Oasis. Okay, so I get me a chili dog. See, a chili dog then, the weenie was like a damn near foot long, and then the bun and with the chili on it. See, a regular hot dog was 20 cents, and the chili dog was 25 cents. So now these foods, was it 5 or 6 of them? Might have been 7. So we all get up there, and so they all buzzed out, from drinking the Thunderbird and all that kind of stuff. And so I buy a chili dog. And then them days, you get the real chili and some beans on it and all that kind of stuff. And they sit there and they buzzing like a baby. Now you get the munchies. See, now they ain't got no more money, but I got my money. So they say, hey, man, let me have some of that chili dog. So no. Now you got 5, 6, or 7 chumps that want to bite off my chili dog. And so what am I going to have? Okay. And so then they started calling me a punk. And in fact, I got in a fight. They started calling me a punk, and I said, man, y'all had money. They said, well, we spent it. I said, well, y'all bought what you wanted, and I'm buying what I want. And then I got called all kind of, I had to fight a chump over a damn chili dog, my chili dog. So that's how I got my name, Thunderbird. And like I said, I was writing Thunderbird, Dead Line Baby Sloth. And so this dude, Vulture, he always just called me T-Bird. Okay, so it was so much to write. Sometimes I had a person would be coming, and I had to duck and dodge and hide, and I had to come back and finish it at another time. Okay, and so what happened was I started writing T-Bird. Okay, and then I got down to just Bird. And say, actually, when you see my writing from the 60s, it say Bird 1. See, because when Kumasi came home from YA, I told you he was Little Bird. But when he came home from YA, he was taller than me. And my homeboy named Hot Dog said, damn, that little Bird? He said, damn, Bird, he bigger than you. And that's when Kumasi said, wait, you Bird 1, I'm Bird 2. Just like that. And I started writing Bird 1. See, and so that was basically that on that. So you got any questions?
Give me a good CYA story.
Oh, shit, I got lots of them. Okay, I'm going to tell you a funny one. two dudes get in a fight, or a dude fires on a dude. I mean, he stole on him, magnificently beautiful, but the dude didn't go down. They got hit. The dude said, "Man, man, what's up? What's up? What you do that for?" And I'm standing there. I said, well, "Hold up, man. Wait a minute. Let me tell you something." I said, "This punk came up and stole on you, and you didn't go down. And you asking him, why did he do that? What's up?" I say, "He did it because he felt like it. And if he hit you and you didn't go down, why are you holding a conversation with him? You should have been right in his ass." See, and that must have been his best one, because he had the cock and everything. I had two other dudes get in the fight, and they started to say, "Hold up, man," and he wanted to go get a drink of water out the water fountain. Okay, and I went and stood in front of the water fountain. I said, "Where you going, man?" "Man, ain't no water in no fight." I said, "Yeah, in boxing, they give dude where he can wet his mouth and he spit it back out, because if he drinks it, he can end up peeing in the ring the next time the chump hit him." I said, it ain't no, none of that. And so now one good one is a dude, Ali Bledsoe. His name is Ali, O-L-L, and see, he was an 8 tray. I saw him on the streets afterwards. Tough guy. He was going around pressuring chumps and everything. And so one day he came over by at where the water fountain is, and you got the utility closet. He said, "Yeah, Kyle, funny man. I think I can get you." And I looked at him. I said, "You think you can get me?" I said, "That's your first mistake." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "You supposed to know that you can get me." I said, "Matter of fact, let me tell you something else. One, you're standing with your feet too wide." I said, "Number two, let me ask you a question." He said, "What?" I said, "What would you do if I spit in your face?" He said, "I could kick your ass." I said, "No, you wouldn't. You'd do like that. And when you're done like that, I'd be on you." See, I said, "Number one, I know whether you're right-handed or left-handed." He said, "Well, which one am I?" I said, "Don't you know?" I said, "I know." I said, "Have you ever seen The Predator?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "The Predator scans everything first. When you see it come, you know it's coming because you can see the scan." I say, "Now, I'm just like the Predator. I got your stats and everything." He was about the same height to me, but he was a muscular dude. I said, "All these guys in here you've been pressured, those are boys." I said, "I ain't no boy." I said, "I'm about 50 something years old. Was I 50? I left when I was 55. So I had been about 53 or 54 years old then." Okay, he's a tough guy now. Okay, and so he's trying to ease around and get off. Guy had told me, "Well, whenever you feel like it, like they we say, when you feel froggish, hop, you know." And he went to get on, I tagged him, pow! Busted his deep blibbles in the snot box. You know what deep blibbles are? The lips. Yes, we call it deep blibbles. Yeah, and a snot box. Okay, and he jumped back. I said, "Yeah, Jack." And he seen how quick it was. So I saw him one time. I had my little son. I was when they had that little bus in the school, right there at that church where took his funeral was, 79th and Western, because I'm living right there on Dinker and 74. Where I walked my daughter around, I took my little son with me. Okay, and he pulls up in a Cadillac and threw his egg. "Hey, man, what's happening, man?" He said, "Man, that was some cold shit." Yeah, he still remember what happened in YA. I said, "Hey, man," I said, "What do y'all think this is all about?" I ain't been no punk and a sissy and a rum and a root put all my life. Now, when I first got to YA, my first month, I'm walking down the short wall. The short wall is the wall that has the single bunks on it. And you can lean on it, up so high, and the tall wall is the double bunks against the wall. Okay, and I'm walking down counting, and the dude says, "Nobody." And so I heard him, but I didn't say nothing. I came back. I said, "Excuse me, man, what was that you said a while ago when I went by?" I heard him. He said, "What?" I said, "What you said when I went by." He said, "Nobody." I said, "Oh, you calling me a nobody?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "You know what? You're right. I am a nobody." And I leaned on the short wall. I said, "I'm new to this right here, this job." I said, "See that bunk you laying on?" I said, "I made 17 years old in Camp William V. Mendenhall, Lake Hughes, Elizabeth Canyon Road, Lake Hughes, California, in 1960. Laying on a bunk." When I said 1960, and this is 87, because I came in December 87, so this is in like January of 87. And he like, "Damn," everybody said 1960. Like damn, that was like in prehistoric times or something, And I said, "I made 17 years old." I said, "By the way, who are you?" And who are you supposed to be? Where are you from? What they call you, doo-doo dog or something? You know, I said, tell you what, why don't you just jump on up and run your ass around where I can beat all the eyebrows off your forehead? You know, and everything. I said, you know what, matter of fact, who is the baddest motherfucker in here? I said, bring your ass up here too. You know, and I said, right then and there, they said, this nigga's crazy. You know, then when they start woofing, oh man, I woofed at them so cold. You know, talking about your mama and all that kind of stuff. Oh man, they didn't think, well, I don't know how to woof. Shit, I don't know how far that goes back, but hell, you know. And so I stayed on the hill, but then they started liking me, see. And then they said they started talking about my stories, you know, and everything. And I had over 250 guys, including one white boy and lots of Mexican guys that I knew somebody in their family. I even had homeboys and homegirls kids. See, matter of fact, they mentioned Carter Spice a while ago. I had his son up there. They had Mexican dudes, you know, mother. I knew their mother, their uncles, their daddies, and all that kind of stuff. So I was kind of liked because I was a little different than other counselors. Mm-hmm. See, a lot of them guys were athletes, and they had been to college also, and they all were like, you know, kind of, you know, husky and stuff, and not every one of them, and everything. They were smart. Then you had people that were in the service, okay, and people that used to work. Some people that had worked at juvenile hall. And you had people who took sociology and administration of justice classes in college, you know, and they came now just because you went to college and you square as a box of blocks and greener and golf grass doesn't mean you can't know how to handle people and guys. You know, people think you have to be some hardcore dude to do that. That's not true. Okay, and so you had multiple kinds of people, but the way that they did everything. You know, today's report is on JoJo, and I this and I that and blah, blah, blah. So I talked to JoJo and Willie and Bobby Ray and Pepe and Jose the way they used to hearing shit. You know, I got on their case. I was on their case date. I told them I was going to be I said, y'all seen the Hunchback of Notre Dame? They said, yeah. I said, I'm going to be the hump on your back. You know, I stayed, a white boy told me, he said, man, Kyle, he said, Kyle, funny, before you came, man, I used to get a good night's sleep. See, since you've been here, I've been tossing and turning every night. Let's talk things about some shit that you just said. So that's what I want you to do. And one more thing about something that's funny. A dude's name is Drac, I think. His name is, he's from, what you call them, Schoolyards. Schoolyards, Crittenden, James Crittenden. Okay. Now, he's about 6 feet. You can see he has stretch marks. So you can see he used to be a little bigger than what he was. So he used to sit out in the day room with his legs crossed. He looked at me one day, yeah, man, you out here talking that shit and everything. Yeah, he said, you be talking to them boys over there. You ought to be talking to a real man. See, because youth authority now goes up to 25 years old. Okay, but usually those after you get 18 go to YTS or something. But we had a work unit. Some of them dudes over there, like the dude named PP from Menlo's, he was 20-some years old, you know. And so this guy, he wasn't that old, but he was like 20 or 21. So most of them dudes 16, 15, 16, 17 years old. And he said, yeah. And so one day I told him, I said, you know what, man, that stuff you were talking the other day, I said, you want to handle this? You know, so the parole agent didn't come in that day, so we went in the parole agent's office. But see, the thing wrong with the parole agent's office, you had a desk, you had some file cabinets, and stuff, and it was tight in there, you know. And he's about 6 feet, and I'm 5'9", and he had long arms and stuff. And we get in there, we're doing it, and everybody's out in the dorm, you know, in the day, you know, and then they could hear it, and everything. Close the door, and everything. See, but I'm good. See, in a tight spot. You know, it's hard for anybody, really, unless you're a wrestler, you know. And so, but the door flew open. When the door flew open, he backed up out the door, and we in the middle of the walkway in front of the room. I said, come on back, Jack. Come on, get some more of this. I said, you want some more? And I said, and he's like, he's back. I said, no, it ain't over yet. And everything. I said, he didn't know I could do them things, you know. See, I'm hooking and jabbing. I'm going to the rib cage. You hit the rib cage and come up and tag him in the chest and hit him in the chin. And everything. And he didn't want no more of that. He said, shit. And, you know. I said, I mean, it's a lot of guys, you know, that they was youngsters, man, you know. They wasn't fully developed right here and everything. And they didn't have full confidence in themselves. See, they had a dude named Murdoch. I think he was he Watts or Compton? He's one of the biggest dudes there, you know. And he was on the sex offender cottage. Okay, here, let me explain what a sex offender is. So when you say sex offender, you automatically think that it's some old perverted dude or something. Okay, sex offender, okay, you do a robbery. You bump into a chick or something, okay, or, you felt their ass or something, okay, and I don't know, too many people ain't felt somebody's ass in their life, you know, or something, you got close to them and or something. Okay, that's the bare minimum. Now we have some die hard, hope to die sex offenders in there too, and that building is 270 building made like the penitentiary. Okay, and this dude Murdoch and that was on that unit. Okay, now whenever they bought the sex, the guys from 270 building, whenever they went to school or church, the other units and stuff, they used to hiss and whistle like they were sissies and punks. But whenever Murdoch came out and stuff, one day we was in a child line, and the 270 guys were coming to church. They had child or whatever, but they were coming to church or something. And I said, "Oh, y'all ain't gonna hiss and whistle?" Because Murdoch would have broke out of line and broke up some bodies out there, See, so every time you hear about a sex offender, I don't think people should take it that they raped somebody or they chested a molester with a first cousin named Sylvester, and all of that. Because you had some chested molesters on there, okay? And you had one dude that, just like you take a picture of Jet Centerfold out of his magazine, Jet Magazine with the bottle of the month,
Mm-hmm.
okay, he had, out of like regular magazine, he had little kids in his room. He was a white boy. I ain't gonna mention his name.